Hey guys, welcome back. This is RE Geeks. We are talking about everything real estate, everything tech, what's going to change your life, and how you're going to embrace this into your daily business. Now, that might sound a little strange, but we're talking about rebooting your real estate ground game and using tech to do it. So, my esteemed co host, Mr. Michael Fielden, who are you? Where are you from? And what the heck are we talking about today?
Happy day, Greg. I'm actually excited about this one because we're not doing any demos. We're not talking that much about true computer technology, but we are going to have a conversation about what it takes to get successful in real estate. And Greg McDaniel is the leader in this industry. I do the tech stuff. I work at Support Geeks. I own this company that provides real estate agents and brokerages with technology support, marketing support, and business support. Greg McDaniel, on the other hand, is the man that is going to walk us through some of the ground level technology that we get to every single day. Now, Greg, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I think you just threw something in your mouth while
It's a raisin. Yes.
was up there with a raisin. That's great. Just swallow those. Usually don't choke you. So I think you're okay. But I am excited about this technology. Okay.
So
That we're going
walk
to
me
talk about
through this a
today.
little bit
And
because as a layman,
okay.
I do not understand what you understand. So
Oh,
tell me what you're going to walk me through.
I'm gonna help you and you're gonna help me.
Okay, good.
So what we're gonna be talking about today, folks, is how to get back to basics. So real estate is about more than a CRM and what you can do on the computer. A lot of the reason that people are successful is because they are getting out in front of people. Now, Greg, we're going to start with one that is probably easier for you than it is for me. Okay.
Okay.
I hosted an open house this weekend, and Greg, it's tough for me. You got to go there and you got to stand, you got to put on pants and get dressed. And, you know, some of those things I work from home. I wear shorts 7 days a week. It's like I don't want to get out there, but I put on some pants, I put on a nice shirt, and I grabbed some business cards. I grabbed a couple of flyers, and I went down to this open house. Okay.
Okay.
It was an absolute nightmare from minute number one, right? The owner of the property had changed the little combination on the master door lock. It had expired. So it took me 20 minutes to get in, and there's like 4 people waiting, right? 2 groups of people waiting. And I struggled a little bit. 15 minutes, we finally got into the property. But here's what I'm going to ask you, Greg. I can carry on the conversation. We had great conversations. We talked about all these exciting things, and it was great. We talked about kids, we talked about families. We got into the property, and I'm like, yeah, what do I say next, Greg? And where I get stuck is I never know how to go from, hey, how are you doing today? How's your family? How are all those things? To how are you going to use me as a realtor to help you?
Okay. So what's the question you're really asking?
The question is, how do I convert people in an open house?
Very simple. You ask them about themselves and you say, Hey, Michael, nice to meet you. Nice to meet your beautiful wife. Nice to meet your beautiful daughters, yada, yada. And, help me understand. And this is where the question comes in. Help me understand what you're looking for in your next property. And that, therefore, allows the conversation to just move forward. I mean, it's
Okay.
not that hard. So let's do a role play on
So
this
hold
one.
on a second, because
Oh, okay, let's role play.
I'm missing a step.
Okay.
And my step usually comes in with the qualification part early on. So
No, so
I'm
so
usually asking them right away, are you already working with an agent?
so look at your physical, like kind of how you're coming out, like physical, like with hands, eyes, everything else. Very, very big thing. Um, you have to control the situation. And I'm not saying it in a dominant way. I'm just saying control the situation so that you can actually have a conversation with somebody. So it's like, so help me understand. I mean, how'd you find the property? Online, offline?
All right.
Simple question.
So let's step back. Let's actually role play this.
Okay, let's
Okay,
do it.
Greg, and I'm going to scoot us in because I want people to see the looks on our face.
Good
You're,
God,
you're-
I'm a handsome man. This is fantastic.
please ignore and delete. That was my notes for AI later on. Okay, so you're walking into my open house.
Okay, I'm
Hey,
walking in.
Greg, how you doing today? It's nice to see you. Come on in, take a look around. If you have questions, my name is Michael. I'm here to help you out.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
Well, I've got pants on, so that's good.
That's a good thing. It's good.
I
That's a
feel like
plus.
if people are there to see the house, I want to get them in and know that they're welcome to look around. And I
Okay,
do
let's
that because
redo that again one more time.
I'm sorry.
Let's redo that one more time.
Okay. You want me to do it?
Well, you're the agent, so yes.
Hey, Greg, come on in, take a look around. Here's a
Number
flyer.
2, okay, hold on. Number 1, stop touching your glasses. And number 2, be more assertive. You have to own the situation. This is your, property. So go at me with authority, but kindness. You ready? Go.
Yeah. I don't know what to do.
Okay. So I'll give you a demonstration.
And this is why I don't get leads at open houses.
It's okay. It's very fair. A lot of folks don't. Hey, Michael, Greg, welcome to my open house at 123 Main Street. Hey, come on in, have a look around. And by the way, I want you to give me your best opinion about the master bedroom bath and what your thoughts are. Have a great time. Look around, and there's cookies and there's coffee in the kitchen. How do you feel about the difference there?
Okay, so how do I get you on? I want you to do that one more time for people, Greg, because I don't do that. And I suspect that most people don't.
So there's a very distinguishing difference in regards to having conversations with folks when they come into an open house. And what I do is I physically direct them. And again, Michael, you know me. I'm 6'5". I'm not a small human being. But the thing is that I literally block a part of the way. So it's like, hey, go take a look at this, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom,
Okay.
whatever. But I also encourage them to come back and tell me about their favorite thing about the bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, whatever it is. It is an ability to re-engage. And nobody does that. I mean, nobody does that.
Okay, but so let's step back even further, Greg. And I think
All right, let's go.
this is for a lot of people, this is going to be very basic. For some of us, this is going to be fundamental. Okay. For me, I was at a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, relatively new construction condo with the door opening directly into the kitchen area.
Okay.
With a big giant island. And I was sitting on a stool and I stood up when people walked in right by that island.
Okay.
So being me, I was hiding behind the island, right? So there was a 4-foot island in between me and the door. Where would you have been? And what would you do when people walk through?
Okay. Honestly, I would be in front of the island and I would have food on the island behind me. And I would say, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
You don't know their name yet. They're walking through the door.
Okay, let's take the names out of it. But what I would say is I'd say, hello, welcome to the open house. This is 123 Main Street. Come on in. We have some snacks. We have this, that, and another thing. Come on in, hang out. Let's sit down and talk. Like, what are your goals? What are you guys looking to do? Like, where are you looking to be in the future? Is this a investment property? Is this a a final resting place for yourselves, or where you want to live? I mean, what is it?
So you're
And
doing this before they even get into the looking
well,
around?
yes, because I want to understand what their thought pattern is.
Right.
And once I understand the thought pattern, then I can go into deeper questions. So again, role playing, you're the buyer, I'm the seller. I'm the You're the buyer, I'm the potential, seller. And I'm like, so are you looking to live here for yourself?
I'm looking for something for my kids. Got
Your
two
kids,
daughters.
okay.
I love the dual master that I saw on the website and thought I'd come down
So
and check it out.
So dual master, is there going to be multiple families living potentially here?
No, my two daughters. So
Two
they're
daughters,
college
beautiful
age
young
kids.
ladies.
Yeah.
So walk me through this. If your two daughters bought the property for themselves and their partners, what would that look like for you?
Well, neither one of them have jobs. They're both in college. So what it would look like is me dropping the money to buy this as an investment.
Okay.
And the investment is twofold. It's one is to get them out of my house.
And so
Save my marriage.
So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all jokes aside, um, when you have conversations with folks, it's very intimate because when you really think about this, people are going through something that you don't know about. So, Michael, I didn't know. This is hypothetical. Your two daughters are um, gonna do their own lives.
Yep.
But I didn't know that. So how could I help them? I didn't know anything about them. So if what would be one question as a buyer that you'd want to hear from an agent that could be positive?
Well, if we're talking about, kids, like how old, I think age is important. This
Okay.
particular unit came with a uh, give or take $1,400 a month HOA that included.
$1,400?
Yeah,
Dude, I was paying $1,200 and I thought that was expensive. Holy mackerel socks.
yeah. Well, the previous one that I held in Palo Alto had a $5,000 a month HOA.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Well, it's a little deceiving because it included some very nice benefits for a
Mhm.
55 and up community. One of the benefits was a gourmet 3-course dinner every single night.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
I'm signing up right now.
You're not old enough.
You're right, I'm not. But it sounds
55 and up.
fantastic.
The problem is, and this is what a lot of the buyers said as they came through is, well, I'm paying for that meal whether I eat there or not.
Yeah.
So
What's the sentiment in regards to the folks that are living there? Like, okay, so you're paying $1,500, $1,400, whatever the monetary difference is. But it, that's a lot of money. How do you justify that?
well, the modal age was 92. So
Yours?
yeah. How do you justify it? You don't got to go out.
I just watch, like TV and just chill and
Yeah.
good Lord. But here's the cool thing. If you have the ability to go out and you can go have dinner, interact, everything else, what a cool opportunity. I
Yeah.
mean, how awesome is that?
Yeah. And there were 32 units. I imagine that some of those people were getting more forgetful, so you might be meeting new people every night.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. So let's get back to our real world open
All
house.
right,
I
let's
think
go back.
the family questions are always nice, and we've talked about Ford before.
We
Um,
have.
for those
And
of you that
Michael, remind everybody what Ford means.
so Ford is a tool that you can use to think about what you want to talk about. And I think about this every time I go in there. It's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Okay. And these are the 4 things that you can talk about. So in our discussion here, we're starting off with family, right? Greg, you need to know that I'm buying this for my family, that it's something that I'm looking at. We're going out there. The next thing you might or might not get into for me is occupation. This property happened to be in Fremont, right along in between 880 and 680. So we're in the Bay Area, but it was along high speed rail, and
That'll
literally
be BART, by the way.
BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit. That was the motivator for a lot of the people that live there. So that would be, when we talk about occupation, it's like, well, do your kids need the train? Okay, because that's huge, right? It was relatively new construction, give or take 10 to 15 years old. That's another thing that was very appealing for this younger generation. And the huge benefit of a massive swimming pool, saunas, multiple reservable rooms that have kitchens and barbecues attached to them. They have dog walking stations. Every unit gets a parking space with an 8x8 storage unit, which is a pretty big deal for a lot of people, right? Place to put your bikes, your kayaks, all of that stuff. So when we talk about occupation and it's kids, then we go into the next part. Is it recreation? Right? What do your kids like to do? Oh, they have kayaks. Your daughter's a scuba diver. You've got another one that's into art. Is that where they're going to, do they need space to store those things? All of these come in. And then for me, the dream is get the kids to move out.
Well, that's kind of the goal. But yes. So, what would you instruct your client to do at this point?
So if it were my client, I think we always need to look at these properties as if this is something that you as a parent or you as a couple or an individual are buying, you have to think about what your long-term strategy is. Okay.
So, what's the long kind of thought pattern that you see with your clients?
Well, we ran into this problem. My buddy and I were chatting, and my wife's friend came in, and by virtue of being my wife, it was also my friends, and she's like, yeah, I'm looking for a property because I want to live with my daughter for while she's in college. So we're going to move down to Merced, and I'm going to buy a house. Well, let's talk about what's not long-term in real estate.
Describe long term that's not what you're seeing right now.
Well, what I saw from her is she says, well, I might just want to stay down there for the 3 years that she's got left in school. So and then I would sell my house. And mind you, if Bay Area pricing, for those of you that don't, $1 million condo is not a lot in the Bay Area, right? It's hard.
Let's back that up a little bit, because when it comes down to the average American around the country, that is a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
What would you say the average price point would be for a condo in Tupelo, Mississippi?
Oh, I know in some of these areas, you're looking at 70, 80,000.
And I'm throwing this at you without no,
Yeah.
no contracts. But $70,000-$80,000. So you buy a property there, and that's gonna $800, $500 a month, give or take. I mean, I'm no mortgage
Plus
broker.
taxes and insurance, but yeah, under
Exactly.
$1,000.
Okay. So we'll go with that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You can live on incredibly affordable pricing, but we just don't do it in the Bay Area.
Well, no, you don't. And here's the problem that my wife's friend was having, right? She's going to go down to Merced and buy a home, single family residence. I think her price point was in the neighborhood of 350,000.
Seriously?
Yeah. So you can she bought a single family home, I think 359. She made some fatal mistakes. We won't talk about those. Other than to say, please read the disclosures.
Yes.
So you know that behind the fence in your backyard is the train. Those are important facts.
Silly. All right. So
but
we learned our lesson.
Greg, and this is part of the dreams. Her dream is to sell that house in 3 years and use the money that she gets from that. She put 3% down, so a little over 10 grand. And take that money and buy a house in the Bay Area in 3 years. Greg, walk me through the math here.
I'm going to try. Tell me the scenario.
So she bought a house for 360, single family residence in a town
in what area?
Merced.
Okay, so we're in Merced, Central Valley.
Central Valley. So I'm expecting 1% growth over 10 years, maybe 2. A lot of new construction. She's not new construction anymore. And she has a train in her backyard. Not near her backyard, like literally on the other side of the fence.
Okay, that's not a good thing.
Yeah. And the realtor told her, just put a fountain out there. It'll block out the noise. So let's talk about a couple of things that you can never forget. And I know this is kind of a diversion here. What's it cost to sell a house these days, Greg?
Commissions.
Okay. So fairly 4 to 5%.
Depends on the realtor, but yeah, in that ballpark, yes.
In that ballpark. So let's say that her $360,000 investment becomes $400,000 in 3 years. Probably not going to happen. But now she's spending $20,000 to sell. So she's only making a small amount. Is she going to be able to come in with that $20,000 to the Bay Area and buy something else?
No.
Not even if she gets 3% down?
No.
Okay. Why not?
Prices, man. Okay. I mean, honestly, prices. You can go to the worst neighborhoods, and I know a lot of the worst neighborhoods. I lived in some of these neighborhoods, and they are ghetto is all ghetto. Like I know I should share this on air, but dude, I carry a gun almost anywhere I go. And there was this one time Jax and I were walking, and we were taking one of our first dogs out there, and it was brutal. This guy came out of nowhere, and he just came right at us, and I'm like, this is not good. And it was a high priced area.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Every night I walked out carrying a gun, I am licensed. I have my concealed carry, so I'm not doing this illegally, but it is terrifying. And people need to think about that a little bit. I mean, just think about walking out there and not having something to protect yourself.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous sauce.
Yep.
So, Michael, let's talk about your next subject.
My next subject is pretty easy. Let's take 2 minutes here and finish the conversation about the open house. Okay.
Okay, let's go there.
So I get the people in the door. I use Ford. How do I convert that business, Greg? How do I ask for 90% of the time? I don't even get a name or phone number.
You never have to ask for that, actually. You just, you want to make a connection and a relationship. So it's like, hey, my name is Greg. I work for blah, 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 real estate brokerage, whatever it is. And it's like, hi, can I help you? Can I assist you? What's your best contact information? What's the best way to communicate with you? Are you working with a agent at this point? That's a critical question.
Yeah.
Are you working with somebody at this point? No, yes, whatever. If they say yes, leave them alone. If it's no, great, fantastic. Here's a piece of paper. Can you give me your best email and phone number? Yes, no. Depends where it goes from that point, but it's knowing the neighborhood. It's knowing the attributes of the property, so you can actually be helpful for these folks. I mean, you're there to help them. So that's the thing that I use. And I win some, I lose some. But I'll tell you one thing. If I lose them, I'm fine with that. If I win them, fine with that as well. But the most important point, I might say, Gunther, get off my foot. Sorry, I have a dog like snuggling my foot. Um, it's all about relationships. My my dad, broker in three different states. He always instilled into me how to make a relationship with somebody. And I think a lot of us have lost that concept because it's not something that we dwell on, which is kind of honestly, it's really it's really sad to say that. But when you like Michael and I, when he and I got together and made business and doing podcasts, and he was a huge part of my past life in the real estate realm. He made my life easier because we had a relationship and a friendship. And a lot of folks don't do that anymore. So I encourage you guys to go out and do that. Build that relationship. It's so simple, but so difficult at the exact same time because when you try to make a relationship with somebody, it just doesn't work out sometimes and you feel bummed out. And I get it. I totally get it. But once you make it, it is something that will bond you with another individual for the entire rest of your life. If you choose. If you choose. Michael, what are your thoughts on this?
I think I think you nailed it on the head. This is about relationships. This business is about relationships. And when we talk about this ground level tech, and the whole reason I wanted to have this conversation today is I think that there are a lot of people out there like me that are either hermits or just don't have a ready tool set to go out and form these relationships. And, one of these things, and we talk about the ground level here, Greg, is let's say that you are fortunate enough that you have a friend that says, "Hey, Greg, I have a lead for you."
Right.
Okay. This person's looking, they want to sell, and I know this is something that's going to happen soon. I have a strategy that I use to do that. What do you do when you get that lead?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah. If I gave you a lead today, tell me your next 3 actions?
Oh, I appreciate the question. So very simple. What I would do is I initially reach out and be like, "Hey, my name is Greg McDaniel. I work with ABC Real Estate, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Michael Fielden gave me a referral back to you. You're wanting to buy or sell, whatever the action is. How can I assist you? How can I help you?" And then as soon as I have that conversation with them and they kind of warm up to me, I say, "Are you a coffee drinker? Are you a tea drinker? What do you like?" "I like, let's say, coffee, right?" "I like coffee." "Okay, great. Fantastic. Can we meet at Pete's or Starbucks? I'm buying coffee. Let's just meet and see if we can hang out and see if I can help you. Is that fair?" "Yes." "Okay, cool. All right." So we go down, we meet, yada, yada, and we see where the meeting goes from that point. Um, I got to tell you, people really just want to get together.
Yeah.
They really do. Um, and once you give them the opportunity to sit down and be like, "Michael, it's Greg. We talked on the phone, yada, yada. Can I buy you a scone and a cup of black coffee?" "Yeah, cool. All right, awesome. Now we're off to the races." So the reason why I say this, one of my clients, he cracks me up, by the way. I met him, what, 5+ years ago? I think 5+ years ago. Um, and I have an SRT Jeep, which is a supercharged Jeep. He has a Raptor, which is very, very fast, powerful Ford pickup. And the two of us, we sat there. We talk about our Jeep, my Jeep, his, pickup, and then we got a beer and a burger, and we just chilled and talked. Just guys being guys. That is the point of business. You just relax and hang out. Michael, you're leaning in, so give me your thoughts.
I I agree with you 100%. Um, I drive a 4-wheel drive Mini. Um, I'm not gonna have a conversation with the Jeeps and the trucks, but, I have done some modifications. I've increased the horsepower, and Greg, it's an exciting conversation piece.
It is. It
I
is.
have a slightly more, uh, pressing way of handling leads.
Do
Um,
describe pressing.
so I believe that we have to recognize the lead giver.
Okay, what's a lead giver?
And Greg, if you gave me a lead, the first thing I do after getting that lead is I sit down and I write you a thank you card. And
Very
I
good.
get you a bottle of wine, or if I know you're, maybe not a drinker, I get you something to recognize the fact that you have given me a lead. because regardless of whether this becomes business or not, we've gotten to the point of trust. And I think I need to say thank you, because you have decided that A, I'm trustworthy, and B, that you trust me enough to trust or to take care of one of your friends. The next thing I do is I reach out to that person and I say, hey, Greg McDaniel gave me your name and number and asked me to give you a call. He mentioned that you might have some real estate specific questions or needs that I can help you with. And then what I've learned to do, and this is a hard one for me, is that's not a question, but I leave it hanging, because now
What do you mean by hanging?
I stop talking.
Oh,
Okay. Because a lot of times when I'm nervous, I'll just keep going. Yeah. He said you need that. And I'm just here to help. And I got some houses for sale and I got some stuff. And what do you want? But if you stop and you let them sort of drive the conversation, a couple of things are going to happen. Either, oh, I think Greg misunderstood. Okay. Well, can I keep your name and info on file? Or you find out very quickly, yeah, I was interested in looking at this house or potentially selling this house. And you give them time to talk. And that's when I start dragging out information, because what you've taught me and what I've learned over the years is people don't want to listen to me, right? They want to feel like I am trying to take care of them.
They want to learn from you.
Yeah. And so they want to get their opinion out there. And I take advantage of that. And I think it's very important to do.
Michael, as much as I love you, I got to give you credit. That is awesome sauce. Here's the reason why. A lot of folks don't listen, and you found that ability to listen, because when you listen, you're being heard, and people love that. And dude, we're all guys, we're all gals, we're out there trying to understand the world. And once somebody goes like, oh my gosh, I hear you, now it's game on. Now we're friends.
100%.
And it's something that I hope a lot of folks would actually listen to this, because I was in a argument with my girlfriend last night, right?
Wait. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Trust me, it's not fun.
We need sound effects.
We do need sound effects. But I was in an argument with my girlfriend, and we were going over a few different issues, and I just sat and listened. And she actually said, she's like, hey, I really appreciate you listening to what I have to say. And I'm sitting there going like, I thought I was getting my butt kicked, but you know what? And she literally said, I appreciate your thoughts. And I'm like, well, that didn't go the way I thought I was going to go. Okay. So think about that in a client, perspective. Imagine if you sit there and you listen to your clients, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, you hear what I'm saying? You're like, yep, totally do.
Yeah.
Versus talking at them, because there's talking with them and talking at them.
Yep.
Totally different life experience. But Michael, what would your thought be in regards to this?
In regards to what?
Talking at or talking with?
I always believe in talking with, because half the time I don't want to be carrying, on the conversation myself. I find that very challenging.
Why not? Why not?
Because I'm not learning, and I'm constantly thinking about what comes next. So one of the things that I focus on in my conversations is getting information out there. And I'm probably going to offend 90% of our audience with this statement, but I think a lot of real estate agents get caught up in telling their clients all about themselves. I'm number one. I sold these houses. I was
Right.
this, and this. Boom, 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 boom. And what's happening, and this is unfortunate, what's happening is we are missing out on learning something about somebody else. Nobody cares that you sold somebody else's house in the first meeting. They don't care that you're number one market share. Okay. It is a statement and a fact that what people care about is how you make them feel.
So how would you walk that back?
How would I walk it back to what? To what I'm doing?
To be relevant.
To be relevant, I think your conversations with people need to be about asking questions and about listening. And it's similar to what you're doing in your relationship when you have a discussion. This is about learning from the people that you are with.
So what's the number one question you would ask to somebody that you're having a conversation with? Like, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we want to sell your home at 123 Main Street, yada yada. Give me your thoughts. What would be your response? How would you interact with that conversation?
So I think there are a couple of answers to that question. And number one is this an investment property for them or something they're living in? And
Good question.
because one of the things that we find is that people that are investors, the questions are different. If somebody's living in a home, and I don't care if it's 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, 50 years, they've grown attached to that house and there are
Mhm.
things that they like. So one of the easy groundbreakers, Greg, that I always use is, what do you like most about your current house?
Good question.
What do you
Oh,
see,
right. Well, let's role play this real quick. So,
Mhm.
what's my favorite thing about the house? Right.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I have a downstairs master.
Okay. So if we're talking about selling and buying something new, so does that mean in your new home that you'd really prefer a single level property?
Would like to have a upstairs and downstairs master. Yes.
Oh, that's great. Is it, just you and your husband living here? Or you
Well, it's my husband, but yes.
okay, great. And w-
Sorry, I couldn't help but I had half a joke.
it's
Um,
it's Pride Month, folks. It's all good here.
it is Pride Month,
Yep.
and
So
so so
I
my spouse and I we want to have a secondary master for guests.
perfect. Okay. And do you entertain a lot?
No, but we would like to do more.
Huh. Yeah, I would too. It's always fun having friends and family over. Do you have a big extended family or is it mostly friends that come by?
Well, my husband has 6 kids, and I have 4 kids, and they have each probably about 3 to 5. So we probably have 18 plus people that would stay in the house.
Wow. So you need a mini mansion.
We do need that. We need something bigger than what we have right now.
Now, when you look to move, I didn't see a pool here. Are you looking for a pool or more outdoor space as well?
No, we would like to have a pool that's not a part of our property, but something that we can access. So probably like a
Beautiful.
community pool or something like that.
Okay, great. Any other hobbies or stuff that you guys like to do on a regular basis?
Restaurants, local bars, fun stuff, nothing big.
Uh, Greg, it's funny. I have to ask, and I wouldn't have 5 years ago. Everybody's into pickleball now. What's your take?
I've never played it, but I'm interested in trying.
Great. Okay, a lot of these communities are looking at doing pickleball conversions of their tennis courts. It's definitely becoming kind of a fad that seems to be getting some traction. But okay, so restaurants and you know,
Walkability.
and I'm sorry,
Walkability.
walkability is important. Okay, that's great. And now I see this huge group of family that you have out there. Are you looking at a senior community? Do you want to be primarily in an area that has services for 55 and up?
So realistically, I don't want that. What I really want in life is I want to be downtown
Okay.
and just no muss, no fuss, and just go from there.
Okay. So downtown. Now, would you consider a property with no yard?
Yes,
What about a condo?
yes.
Great. So a lot of the condo places obviously have pools. Most of them have other amenities as well. Um
I want you to be more assertive in this conversation.
the- okay. So let's go look at condos.
All right, let's go.
That is great.
What condo development kind of suits you?
Well, so I'm in the San Jose area, and assuming that you are in San Jose, California, we have a lot of really cool high-rise buildings in downtown San Jose. And what I would,
Which one's your favorite?
I think it's Access.
Act
Uh,
you think, or is it
Well,
your favorite?
it is. It's my favorite. I think it's called Access, and it's right over by the Spaghetti Factory and San Pedro Square.
You got to sell me on this more, bro.
Wi-
Come on, sell me.
It's a condo. Don't buy a condo. Um,
Shut up. I love condos.
so in downtown San Jose, the reason I want to show you this when we talk about walkability, San
See,
Pedro,
there's a tonality I want right there.
yeah. So,
That's the tonality.
but it's so much easier to try to talk and
No,
what
nope,
yeah, okay,
nope.
all right. So people get the idea. Let's because we only have
Sell
a few
me
minutes left.
on the condo.
I'm going to sell you on the condo.
Come on, do it. Sell me on the condo.
So the beautiful part about these condos is they are in a high rise. You're going to get
What's
a
a high
view of
rise?
high-rise multi-floor building. Some of these Access, I believe, is 27 floors high, and you're going to have the option of looking at these properties in a single visit so that you can look at multiple floors.
Okay, hold on. Stop script. I want you to do this. You ready?
Sure.
All right, guys. We're gonna. What's the name of the condo development?
Let's call it Access.
Access. Yeah, guys. Hey, you know what? I got the perfect building for you. It's called Access. They have a rooftop park area. Yeah, they have pools. They have like jacuzzis. They have all kinds of billiards areas. I mean, this is the place you can walk down, take the tram, go to the baseball game, do what you're gonna do. We got to meet. What's the day and time that's gonna work best for you?
Let's go now.
All right, let's go now. Hold on, honey. I'm leaving. I'm
I
gonna
shrunk
go.
the kids.
Go show a house. Yeah, I know. I know the dogs need to be walked. I get it. Hold on. Okay. All right. Hey, I know. All right. So we're good. It's that type of attitude that makes the difference. So show me that attitude on this. Of course, I dramatize it, and I would never yell at my girlfriend or my wife, but just have fun with this and play with it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Go. So, Michael, what would be a good place that I could live in San Jose or somewhere around the neighborhoods?
So, Greg, in downtown San Jose, I think you're going to see a lot of really cool stuff. We have Japantown down there, and then we also
Oh.
have this more modern area around San Pedro Square, where there are a lot of these tall buildings that have gone up 20, 30 floors, and they give people access to these condos that have just amazing views of downtown San Jose, as well as the walkability that you've said you are looking for. Can we take some time and go down and look at one of these? Maybe Saturday morning.
Don't ask me. Tell me.
Can I set an appointment?
No.
Don't
Tell
ask.
me.
I'm going to set an appointment for Saturday at 10 a.m. I'll pick you up out front.
There we go. Bingo. Nailed it.
Because
Oh
parking.
yeah, 10 a.m. That works. That works perfect.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
See how that feels?
I found this and I wanted to try it.
He actually brought music in.
Although they're all like,
oh, actually, I like this.
Okay, so Greg, we're 50 minutes in. I want to cover one more topic before we leave this, because we always promise a little bit of technology, and
let's go.
We've talked about how to create these relationships, and we've built these relationships. This is a non-paid promotion for your CRM. Whatever you are using now, and I don't care what it is, get in there and make sure that you're adding all of the facts that you learn about your clients, so that you remember the next time you reach out to them, hey, Greg, I found this new property in downtown San Jose, has a rooftop pool, and you're not going to believe this, they have indoor pickleball courts. I'd like to show you this on Friday. How about 6:00?
Okay, I'm honestly really curious about this. Can you share the screen so people can see this? Because I mean, in all honesty, I mean that is really cool stuff to share.
Yeah, I made that up.
Seriously?
Yeah, but you get the point, Greg. This is just a show. Thanks for putting me on the spot. I was hoping people would call. Where's my?
Oh my God,
Greg, Ronnie.
Oh my God.
Greg, this is Daydreaming.
I do love that song.
Exactly. But what my push here was, make sure, hey, Kevin, Lakeland, Florida, woo woo. Make sure that you are putting in the information to your CRM so that you don't forget. Now, again, non-paid promotion. I'm going to recommend that every one of you check out Follow Up Boss and see what it is able to do for you. Okay. It is a bit pricey for a CRM, but if you're using nothing now, you're paying for free, this is a tool that's going to help you foster these relationships. And Greg, I know you and I believe this from our heart of hearts. Guys, this is a numbers game.
Yeah.
When we're talking about a CRM, I get this all the time from agents. Hey, I got to 100 people in my CRM.
If you're only at 100, we got a problem.
Yep. And to give you guys an idea of how this works, I just recently deleted 3,000 people from my CRM.
Holy mackerel socks. Seriously?
Because I was either getting bounces, no responses to multiple emails, and I finally decided to clean it up. So I got rid of 3,000 and I took it down to 10,000 people. Okay. That's my CRM. And the reason that I do this, guys, this is a numbers game. All right. And there are a lot of companies out there that will help you get leads and help you get business. I use a tool that allows me to buy email addresses based on property address. Okay. So they've got ways of figuring out what somebody's email address is from their property address.
Well, what is that site?
It is, what is the guy's name? I think it is a First American tool, and you literally have to buy it. Send me an email, michael@regeeks.com, and we will, I will figure out where I've been buying those. I knew exactly what it was until Greg asked me. But about once every 3 months, I go in and buy a couple thousand email addresses. So I pick a farm and say, hey, give me the email addresses for these people. They are about, give or take, 30% accurate is what I've been finding. But For 30% of the emails that I'm sending out, I already know where they live. Okay. And I use a tool called Real Scout. I put them in Real Scout and I send them a home valuation report. And Greg, what I have learned is people want to know how much their house is worth.
Yeah,
Period.
you do.
And they love the information, and it gives them market shenanigans, market statistics, and it's a really easy tool. Their newest part has a feature called auto nurture. And so I just put the stuff in there and let it go.
And this is the cool stuff, guys. You have to really understand where Michael's coming from in regards to tech and stuff like that. I mean, in his own verbiage, he's a tech nerd. I am a tech nerd as well. But it's incredible to find these little nuanced companies that can really bring value to your life in a very short term. So tell me more about Tech Nerd.
Tech nerd? What about tech nerd? I'm not a tech nerd. I'm a geek, dude.
Okay, whatever. Tell me about the company.
So Support Geeks, we're here to help real estate
Well,
agents.
not you, you idiot.
Oh,
I'm talking about the other system, and then bring it back to you and how you can help them make it work without having to actually have to do the work.
So what in this case, if we talk about Follow Up Boss and Real Scout and using them as CRMs, what we're talking about here is putting data in. So I met Greg McDaniel at an open house. I got his name and his email address, and that's all he was willing to give. I'm going to put that information into my CRM, and I am going to quickly and easily start sending Greg regular emails. Okay. And I don't know where Greg lives yet. So what I'm going to try to do is give him a call to action. Hey, give me some more information. Okay. Tell me who you are. Nurture that client. Try to figure out what they want. If I met him in an open house, I am going to start sending Greg market updates on the area of that open house.
Now, is that just around the open house, or is it just in the area? How does that work?
I typically use, if it's appropriate, I use a zip code. I might use a city name. Sometimes I will map an area. We have areas like Richmond and Alameda where there's some less desirable areas.
That's Northern California, by the way, in the San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah.
Yeah. And they, it's the difference between an area with $300,000 homes and an area with $2 million homes.
Minimum.
So, it is a big change. If my open house is in the 2 million range, I don't send those $300,000 ones. I draw a map around. Most everybody has the ability to draw a map in their search, and that's where I send statistics from, because it doesn't make sense. Somebody that's looking at 2 million probably isn't going to buy 300.
Right.
So, Greg, we're pushing up on an hour. I know this has been an exciting conversation, and I love having people here, but I also know that time is money, and everybody needs to get out there and make some money.
True. And it is a work day. So, Michael, where can people find you?
Hey, so people can find me at supportgeeks.com. Just like it sounds. And we are very, very close to launching the official regeeks.com website, where you'll be able to find me, Michael Fielden, and my co-host, Greg McDaniel. Right now, you can send us emails at michael@regeeks or greg@regeeks.com, and we will do what we can to help. I also just want to do a quick push there. My book, AI for Real Estate, is selling a little better on Amazon. I'd love for you to get out there and read into that. But if you would like a copy of it, please send me an email, michael@regeeks.com, and I'll get one sent out to you.
Do we have a graphic for this book?
No, but we will by next show.
Okay, next show we'll have a graphic. so you guys can go check it out. Trust me, Michael sent one to me. It is phenomenal. You guys are going to absolutely stinking love it. But you know what? Go enjoy life.
Yep.
Go have fun. Make some money. Hug your kids. Hug your spouse. Nothing big. But we just wish you all the best. Watch us, hang out with us. We're here to help support you guys in any way, shape, or form. If there's something you want us to talk about or research, there's a thing called a button, and you can just push it and just do and just type it in. So
we read every comment. And hey, if you do want a book, I've only got 25 of the free ones. So send us an email right away, michael@regeeks.com, and we'll get that sent out to you.
Bing, bang, boom. There we are, gentlemen.
People.
Ladies, you guys are incredible human beings. Until next show, you know that we do this. Boom.
Boom.
Peace. Love ya. See you on the next show, guys. Bye.
Take care.